like I said, I'm coming down with some, so I'm not feeling the best. So not
Thanks
trying
for
to.
doing this.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I usually think climbing in the car will make you feel better, but not this time. But let's see. Got started when I was 9 years old, racing go-karts from Concord, North Carolina. Grew up there. I was born in Mobile, Alabama. I moved when I was 2, so Concord's really home. Live there now, but started racing go-karts, like I said. And we spent about 2 years every series and moved our way up through the ranks, asphalt oval ranks. So never looked at what's the end path of that, of how, what's the snowball effect of it. So we never paid attention to that. So I never thought I'd be here today, driving 43, talking to you guys, ever meeting you guys. So just something we just raced and had fun, and we'd win races, and the next car came about, and it was kind of a repeating process. And it was about when I was 16, we were in the Nascar K&N Pro Series, which is the feeder system into the top 3 national series that we have today. And I was like, man, I can't really turn back now and start all over. I had just signed on the year before, 2009, with Joe Gibbs Racing, so the 11, the 18, 19, and the 20. That team, I was with them running the K&N stuff and some Xfinity stuff, and got an opportunity to drive Kyle Busch's truck stuff for 2 years, 2013 to 14. Had a great 2 years in that, and at that point I knew, like, okay, we're trying to get to the Cup level by the time I climbed in the truck. So it took a lot of work, a lot of determination. We had our first year took a while. It took, 20 races maybe to get our first win, and then we racked up 4 wins the next year. So we kind of picked up on it. I'd say a little quick, but then it's just kind of been an uphill battle ever since then. Going to the Xfinity side, we switched teams there to Roush. Had 3 years in Xfinity before we shut down the program there. Filled in for the 43 in 2017, 4 races, and it was kind of like an audition for me. I had no ride at the time. Filled in for them. My last race in the Xfinity car was my first race in the 43, so that was a blessing there, and got the opportunity, got the call late 2017. Said, hey, we want you to drive the 43 full time for the upcoming season. So that was last year. We had a full rookie season. Went through the rookie blues. Definitely learned a lot. Finished in second at Daytona here last year, so no pressure. Go out and do that again. All the fans and most of the media is like, can you do it again? And I'm like, the chances of replicating something like that again is slim, but we're gonna go out and try. So if we were able to do that, finish second, and if you win the damn thing, it's gonna be a big party. So we'll be excited, looking forward to that. So other than that, just constant grind, just trying to find sponsorship, partnerships for our race car, and help prolong our career.
Can I ask you, how did you become a part of Rev Racing? And if you could talk about what you gained from the Drive for Diversity program, and what's the value, if you see any value in it?
Yeah, there's a ton of value. At the time that I jumped on, and like I said, 2009, we signed on with JGR, still running family-owned, late model stuff back home, and excuse me. We contacted them, asking, what's the next step? What are we gonna do next? And they were like, there's this Drive for Diversity deal that we can look at. And I'm like, okay, let's look into it. And the way it was formatted, up to that year was totally different. You would get shipped out to a race team across the country and go race. Well, this 2010 was a brand new year where they brought everything in-house, all the drivers under one banner. So we jumped on and won the first race right out of the box in the K&N Series. Won our second race later on that year. Won Rookie of the Year that year, and then we went back and won 3 times the next year. So in 2010 we did a BET reality show called Changing Lanes. So that was big. It ruined reality TV for me because I know the process of it all. A lot of that stuff is fake drama. So it's the publicity side of those 2 years was out of this roof, and the on-track side was stellar as well. So, but definitely a ton of value at that time.
What was your The challenges you faced when you first entered motorsports, what did you learn and how did that make you ultimately a better driver?
I was too young to understand all the not all the negative stuff, but we'd go to a track and show up and win, and you'd get some hate thrown towards you, but I didn't care. I was like, okay, race is over with, I'm gonna go back and play with my friends. We would play football, we'd go out in the woods at the racetrack, and it'd be 5 minutes before we have to go race, and we're off a mile away somewhere, having to run back, climb in the car, and go race. Those were the good days, when you didn't have any worries, any obligations, no responsibilities. You just had to go up and show up and drive. And so that's what I did. My parents just told me to go out there and keep winning, and one day it'll all go away.
Now, you're still pretty young, but how do you see yourself? Like, what's your legacy? How do you see your legacy in motorsports?
I'm cut from a different cloth for many reasons. A lot of guys are straight edged and very polished, and I'm learning all that stuff as I go. You get what you see is what you get. I like to cut up and have fun and interviews and not be the cardboard cutout person. It's boring. People want to latch on to who you are, not somebody you're trying to be, or fake who you're trying to be. So I try to give people and the outsiders a look at what life is like behind the eyes of Bubba Wallace.
Last year after you won, and I went back and watched the YouTube video of the press conference, and your mom comes up on the stage, and that's what got you.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of us feel that. A lot of us know our mom is like maybe the most important person in our lives. Mm-hmm. Give us a little bit about your mom, because when she came up there, I remember you saying it's like we back when we won the race, and she just kept saying we did.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your mom a little bit.
Yeah.
Your family influence.
My mom's a big deal. Just like you said, our mom is probably the biggest support system for us, and having her here and go through it all. And I had a ton of pressure on me that last year, heading into this race, doing somewhat of a reality show for Facebook there. So just cameras on you 24/7, trying to be who you want to be and also clean cut at the same time. So finally I was able to breathe, and that's where the emotion came from. It's just being able to drop your shoulders, and when she came up, just kind of fell into her arms, and you're mentally exhausted from doing all that stuff. A lot of people think we just show up and drive, but no offense to you guys, this stuff is tiring. If we keep doing it over and over and over, and it's almost like a broken record. And that starts to create pressure, because it takes you away from what you're trying to focus on. But it's all part of the game, and we know that. So, but my mom has been there since day one, and we've gone through some family troubles over the last couple of years that have made us stronger, and continuing to fight on.
How have you used your success on the track to sort of build your brand off of the track?
Man, that's a tough one. You get to the cup level, and it's a totally different ball game. It's not. I can't speak for how it is from going from collegiate ball to pro ball. I imagine it's not just a step up. It's a jump. It's a leap. It's a mile jump to just get to that next level. And when you get here, you got to have it. You got to have that it factor. And I believe I have it. I believe our team has it. It's all about putting the right pieces together and coming together as one and being a successful team. But it just takes a lot. So, nowadays I'm guilty of it. Seeing a team come through, whatever sport it is, and they don't have the headlining records, then it's like, they're okay, I guess. And I feel like that's how people look at us. He finished second in 500. That's about it. It's like, well, you're right. If you want to look at it like that, but I know there's much more to it than that. So we have to keep, I have to keep showing who I am, how raw and real I am, for fans that know people that can sponsor somebody. So it's just all about how you carry yourself at the track. It reflects on you away from the track.
Who were some of the role models coming up in sports or in general in driving?
I didn't have any role models, to be honest with you. I didn't pick. I was a Michael Jordan fan, but I watched it because he was good. I didn't want to be like Mike. I was like, I didn't have that. Watching Nascar, I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I didn't watch it until, like I said, I was 16 or 17. It was there. It was on TV because my family was just big fans of it. But just kind of did our own thing, rewriting our own history, and my dad and the guy who got us started were the two biggest, helps with my career. But other than that, having some idol or icon, never had one.
What would you say is your key to success?
Key to success? It's tough. I've been around for a little bit of time, and you learn a lot, you see a lot, and it makes you grow up and makes you grow. It sounds like the same thing, but it's different. It's there's a lot that goes into the sport. There's a lot that goes into being successful. Making the right moves on the track, making the right calls for your crew to get the car right. Being smooth and finesse behind the wheel. There's a lot of factors. So to pinpoint something, it's tough because all of us have it when we're at this level. You see, it's funny to go back and watch races now. Like last night, the truck race was on, the Xfinity race is coming up, and you sit there and you're like, "What are you doing, kid? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Man, I was just there 2 years ago. I can't say nothing." So, but you feel like that was like an eternity away, and you've matured that much, and it's like you can't be making those moves, you can't be doing this and that because I've been there and done it. So to pinpoint one thing is tough to say.
I was going to just ask, what's it like in the car? Because some of us have never been in the race car before and know the feeling of being on that track. What is it like in the car as you're driving? What's on your mind? What are you thinking about, or are you just zoned in at that point?
You might think I'm crazy, but it's the most comfortable spot in the world. Not because, I'm in my office, but it's legit. My seat is my seat only. It's formed to every overhang on my body, every piece of fat on my body is formed right around me. No one else can fit in my seat. And everybody's like, "Man, this is uncomfortable. I don't know how you do it." And I'm like, "I can show you. I'll go sit in there and fall asleep in a matter of a second." It's hot. If you're claustrophobic, it's not for you. We have a closed face helmet. We have a little bit of airflow blowing on you. It's not much. About what you feel. This is probably more than what I get in the car, what you feel right now. So during the middle of the summer, we're 150 degrees. So, there was one race that stood out a couple years ago, sitting on pit road. Not much heat going on inside of the car because they haven't rolled off yet. 137 degrees in the car.
Wow.
Yeah, about to roll off for the race. So
Access to water.
Yeah, we have. Some people have different hydration systems. I have one through my helmet. So we take care of that, but it's a demanding sport. Grueling. The 600 Charlotte Coca-Cola 600 is 4.5 hours long. These races here, depending on cautions and everything, that's what the base is off of. Like the truck race last night was 3 hours. The truck race usually is about an hour.